takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see troubles all are the same.
Well, of course, many of us recognize that popular TV theme music. It is a song that I have referenced before in a sermon, talking about our desire for community and how church can be a place where we look to go. And while everybody might not know our name, many do, and we are glad that you came. And we do share a lot in common in terms of both our challenges and problems in life, as well as common goals of our well-being and our Lutheran faith in discipleship. In the year 2023, I have talked a lot about community, spoken frequently about getting back to the basics, both in our faith practices and resetting our life agendas on this side of the pandemic. And while the pandemic certainly has had its impact on Christian congregations, ours included, the reality has been that in 2023, the pandemic has not been dominant in our conversations, our planning, and our practicing of our faith here at the church. And that is certainly something to celebrate. Here at CRLC, it has been another year of active ministry. We have had many balls in the air, and we have been active on many fronts, from worship and education to service and fellowship. There have been many opportunities to live out our discipleship in our praising God, serving others. What has made 2023 particularly unique is that it is the 50th year anniversary of our congregation's founding. It has been this celebration that has been a common thread in many things we have set out to do since the very beginning of this year. We have been celebrating this 50-year mission station in various ways. We looked at our history and our timeline. We set out to raise funds for an in-reach and an outreach project in the festivities of this year. We also used this opportunity to complete a new pictorial directory thanks to Lori in the office and her helpers. We still, in this calendar year, hope to bury a time capsule, and we are still getting a few things completed in the outdoor chapel renovation in highlighting this milestone together. But of course, the big event was the third weekend of May, in which we had a Saturday night fellowship event, followed by the one worship service on May 21st, with a celebrative banquet that followed. It was a great opportunity to think of the many people, places, and ministry avenues, aspects, and accomplishments that this church has been a part of these last 5 decades. We're able to have the bishop of our synod come and preach, as well as have and host the return of some of our former pastors. In 2023, we continued to tackle major facility projects in our building and on our grounds. As I mentioned last fall, in the last couple of years, we have tackled a great number of facility-related tasks, perhaps like never before in our history, with the exception of the actual building of the church itself. We have striven to enhance our facility for ministry, for welcome, for hospitality, for comfort, and space as a part of people living out their faith. Those projects included painting the outside of the building, painting projects on the inside of our building, digging up all around the foundation of our building to stop leakage into our lower level. We accomplished a major organ repair while it was not being used during the pandemic, as well as a new sound system and monitors. We put new carpeting in our fellowship hall, gathering space, and hallways. We also added new signage as part of the overhaul of our gathering space, including the coffee station and the new furniture there, to give it a new welcoming and renewed touch. We have replaced lighting in the ceilings of our fellowship hall and gathering space to be more energy efficient. This year, we have continued to work on the facility with replacing the two main air conditioning units for our sanctuary, as we've continued to upgrade all the units over a multi-year period so that things are more energy efficient and operational. As you also know, we have continued work on the multi-year project of the meditation garden. It certainly has been a project that has had its challenges and stopping points due to things beyond our control. However, we have still been able to move forward on this project. And while the work will be ongoing, we have now completed the highest percentage of the project. And we now have created a space for people to come, to sit, to pray, reflect, to calm themselves, to remember their baptism. A peaceful place to hear the waters bubble, stir, and churn, and be reminded of God's ongoing activity in our lives. I hope you have had an opportunity to take advantage of that space as it greets and welcomes others soon after entering our grounds. We continue to work on the 50th anniversary renovation project of the outdoor chapel, which will see some visible accomplishments, perhaps by the time you are seeing this video. With the exception of that meditative garden and the 50th anniversary project of the chapel, through your generous giving, we have been in a position to be able to accomplish these many and various projects with our current funds without coming to you as the church for additional funding. This will not likely be the case when it comes to looking at one of the most exciting projects that a church can take on, a major renovation of a parking lot. It doesn't get any more fun than that. Well, we've known we've had issues with an aging parking lot and drainage on it for some time, and we have made some significant and band-aid repairs over the last decade, some of which have not always held up as much as we would have liked. But we now believe the time has come to tackle this in a major way so as to not throw good money after bad. As we think about the year 2024 and the budgeting, the Vision Board will be strategizing approaches to potentially tackle this major work in the near future. We'll likely have more information on this by the time of our annual congregational meeting, which this year will be held on Sunday, November 19th. However, while property, facility, and ground issues are important, and they really do serve to communicate to visitors about our care, concern, and the importance of our ministry station, we do all this to strive to continue to be a welcoming community to all, not only for worship, but for all kinds of ministry. For this is the fulcrum of who we are. This is where we live out our praising God, serving others. And this year, 2023, has once again been another great chapter and seeking to enhance and carry out God's call to us to be a church sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ. The reality is that most of the ministries that occur are often not visible or tangible to many of our eyes. Nevertheless, important visible and invisible ministries of our church make a significant difference in people's lives. Just recently, we again engaged and were able to come together for Serving Sunday with our Rise Against Hunger project of packing meals that are shipped all over the world. This year, we packed another 15,000 meals. We also continue to do important aspects of being in touch with one another with our fellowship luncheons and our fellowship events, book clubs, Sunday school, Bible studies, and youth mission trips, just to scratch the surface. Our summer vacation Bible school is one in which we have the opportunity to touch the lives of not only our young people, but also be in community with one another and welcome visitors into our midst. Our church is a serving church. We do great at supporting many service projects with our partners at Redeemer Crisis Center, Lutheran Metropolitan Ministries, Oasis in Akron, and Lutheran Disaster Response. Your giving and your time and discipleship in all these areas remain integral to who we are and our purpose. Our online activity continued this year as well. We have a committed group of members who mainly worship online and keep a virtual connection to our congregation in this way. The midweek video announcements are viewed by many in our congregation, so our online presence continues. We now have 144 regular subscribers to our YouTube channel with thousands of views each year. As we now plan for 2024, we again ask all to discern what they might be able to financially give to enhance and grow our support of the ministry we share. We also ask how each person, through the acts of discipleship and time, might contribute and remain a critical part in carrying out our mission as a community of faith. As in years past, folks will be receiving in the mail an estimate of giving card and a time and talent survey. We appreciate all your prayers and support in filling that out. We are hoping that most people can return those at the beginning of October. As always, I want to thank the staff here at Christ Redeemer Lutheran Church. We are blessed to have people care about what they do. They care about God's work being done. Our support staff of Luda Stoller, who does our cleaning, Mike Skawarski, our facility manager, Cecile Mastriani, our bookkeeper, are some of the people that work behind the scenes to keep the mechanics of our facility going. Karen Charbonneau in the office, Paul Travagliani working with our youth, James Alfieri, our music director and choir director, are people who work to enhance our ministry together. And Jill Kubel, our parish nurse. Jill is an example of one who does so much behind the scenes that people do not even realize the entirety of her ministry until one experiences it. And certainly we owe a great recognition to Lori Siebert, who not only works here in the office, but also expresses her discipleship in so many committed and heartfelt ways. All these people are what keep our ministry going from day to day. I also want to thank our leaders on both the Vision and Ministry Board for the giving of their time to help direct our path and ministry. And I also want to thank you for being a part of this community of faith. Our actions and efforts speak to others, and though not always perfectly, we seek to point to the gospel being experienced and practiced in this church. And we just never know who may be looking in from the outside thinking about joining us. May we continue to serve God. May we continue to seek to love one another. May we return to our basics and continue to grow our foundation as a faith community and Jesus Christ through praising God and serving others. Thank you.